Hi, welcome back to the Gemara in Masechet Ta'anit, Daf Gimel Amud Aleph. We're going to start approximately where we left off last time in class, starting from the words Ela Haditnan. And if you remember, we were discussing different positions on when Nisuch HaMayim starts. Nisuch HaMayim, the water libations, the pouring of the water that happens on Sukkot. There are different opinions on what day you do the pouring of the water, what day you start pouring the water, and theoretically may correspond maybe a theoretical model for when we start saying Mashiv Ruach Amrit Hagashem. So we're going to start from the point at which we've just given some understandings of how you might see that in the text of the Torah, see this idea of water pouring. Specifically, we had double language, hasech nasech, and we learned from this that there are two different kinds of nisuch, one of wine and one of water. Now the Gemara is going to present a different kind of problem. Ella, rather, haditzna nisuch hamayim kol shiva, mani. Rather, that which was taught in a Mishnah, ditnan, as was taught in a Mishnah, nisuch hamayim kol shiva. You do the pouring of the water all 7 days of Sukkot. That's a position from a Mishnah in Masechet Sukkot. Mani, whose position is this? Who holds this idea? Meaning, what Tana can we align this position with? Because, here's a hint, it doesn't seem like it's going to line up well with any of the Tanaim that we've seen so far. Rabbi Yehoshua, if we were to say this opinion comes from Rabbi Yehoshua, Nima Chad Yoma, then he should say just 1 day, because if you look back at Rabbi Yehoshua's position, he doesn't have you starting Nisuch HaMayim at the beginning of the Chag. Rabbi Akiva, Trei Yomei. And again, look back at Rabbi Akiva's position. If you wanted to say this was Rabbi Akiva's position, it would only be 2 days. You would only have 2 days of doing Nisuch HaMayim. Again, look back at the Breitza, look back at when each of these Tanaim say we start Nisuch HaMayim, and you'll see that it doesn't allow for 7 days of Nisuch HaMayim on Sukkot. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera, and if we were to say this Tannaitic position that you pour water all 7 days was that of Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera, Sheitze Yomei, then it should be 6 days. None of these positions seem to line up. Again, I'm asking you to look back at the Breitza and see specifically how they don't line up. That will be part of your charting exercise at the end. La'olam Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera. No, actually, it lines up well with Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera's position. V'sfira like Rabbi Yehuda Zimanitin, and he holds like Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah. Ditnan, as we learned in a Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Belo Kayam Menasech Kol Shmona. Rabbi Yehuda said that we use a log of water, it's a measurement of water, and we use that to pour water libations all 8 days. So in other words, we have a recorded position of Rabbi Yehuda, and we're saying that Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera holds like that position. Omefik Rishon Ma'ayal Shmini. But Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera takes out the first day, and adds in the 8th day. In other words, he doesn't actually have you starting on the first day. That isn't Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera's position, because we know that Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera doesn't think that you start doing Nisuch HaMayim on the first day. He thinks that you start on the second day. So he could have a stretch of 7 days that you do Nisuch HaMayim on Sukkot, but it has to go from day 2 through day 8 and not day 1 through day 7. That seems a little sketchy. Umayshna Rishon Delo. What is the difference regarding the first day that you don't pour water on that first day, right? That doesn't, why say we take out the first day and only start the 7-day count from day 2? That seems a little weird. Because, as we saw earlier, the first hint, again in that Mayim acronym, the first hint about the pouring of the water comes on day 2. So that's why he doesn't think that you start pouring till the second day, and that's why his 7-day stretch, Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera's 7-day stretch, would have to start on day 2. Shmini nami, ki remize mayim, b'shvi'i hu d'remize. Yeah, okay, but the 8th day also, when it hints about water, it hints on the 7th day, right? Again, going back to that acronym, going back to the psukim, the hints are on day 2, and day 7 is another one of them, not on day 8. Okay, so that didn't work out well to say that this Mishnah that says that you have to have Nisuch HaMayim all 7 days lines up with the position of Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera. So we're going to try again. Ella, rather, new answer, Rabbi Yehoshuahi. It's actually the position of Rabbi Yehoshua. V'nisuch HaMayim kol shiva hilchata gemirela. And the idea of pouring the water, or the halacha, that you do this pouring of the water all 7 days, is a halacha. Literally, it's a halacha that he learned. It was a halacha that was taught to him. Meaning, we've seen this before, it was halacha l'Moshe miSinai. It has nothing to do with the psukim, no tricks with mem yud mem. It's just halacha l'Moshe miSinai. T'amar Rav Ami Amar Rabbi Yochanan, mishum Rabbi Nechunya ish bikat Beit Choratan. So we have a chain of transmission. We have Rabbi Ami in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, in the name of Rabbi Nechunya, who was from Bikat Beit Choratan. Eser Netziot, Arava, V'nisuch HaMayim, Halacha l'Moshe miSinai. There are 3 things which we know about them, are Halacha l'Moshe miSinai. We have no other way of knowing them. The only way to know them is that they just are transmitted orally. They're Halacha l'Moshe miSinai. 3 halachot. Eser Netiot, this is a reference to a specific halacha that has to do actually with the Shemitah year, that you're not allowed to water fields a month in advance at the beginning of Shemitah. Water, plow, take care of, but in a field of a certain size with 10 saplings, 10 plants, you are allowed to, so it's like a special dispensation in the pre-Shemitah month. Arava, the idea that we use the aravot, we shake the aravot on Hoshana Rabbah, and Nisuch HaMayim, and the water libations we've been talking about, all 3 of these are halacha l'Moshe miSinai without a specific scriptural source. Okay, we're going on to the next line from our Mishnah. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishum Rabbi Yoshua Haover Lifnei Hativa B'Yom Tov Ha'acharon Shel Chag Ha'acharon Maskir Harishon Ino Maskir B'Yom Tov Harishon Shel Pesach Harishon Maskir Ha'acharon Ino Maskir. So I'm going to put that in red because it's Tannaitic. And of course, you want to look back and see the exact source that it came from. We just recently turned to Gimel Amud Aleph. So to look back, you can look back at the previous page, at where it shows up. This is a quote from the Breita actually that we've been discussing. So it's on Bet Amabet, and this is the end of that Breita, or towards the end of that Breita. Okay, and the Gemara has a question. Hi, Rabbi Yehoshua. Which Rabbi Yehoshua? Which Rabbi Yehoshua are we talking about? There is more than one Rabbi Yehoshua. We can talk later about who they all are, but there is more than one. Ilema Rabbi Yehoshua de Matnitin. If you wanted to say that the Rabbi Yehoshua of the Breita matches the Rabbi Yehoshua of our Mishnah, Ha'amar b'Yom Tov ha'acharon shel Chag hu mazkir. But behold, he says that on the last day of Chag is when you mention Gvurot Geshamim. That's what we're seeing here. So right in our Mishnah, he said that on the last day of Chag is when you mention it. And it sounds like from the beginning of the day, which would be the evening before. Again, days begin at night. So that doesn't match up well. Ella, Rabbi Yehoshua de Breita, ha'amar misha'at hanachato. However, or rather, you could say that it's Rabbi Yehoshua who's mentioned in the Breita, but there it says that you start saying it from the time that you put down the lulav. And you put down the lulav at the end of the last day. So that would sound like you only start saying it from the eve of the 8th day, right, the beginning of the 8th day, and going forward. So that doesn't seem to, that seems confusing also. V'tu, and furthermore, Hadetanya, that which was taught in the Breita, Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishum ben Betera, Rabbi Yehuda said in the name of Ben Betera, Ha'over lifnei ha'teva b'yom tov ha'acharon shel chag, ha'acharon maskir, right, that the one who leads davening on the last day of Chag, only the last one mentions Gvurot Geshamim. So in that quote, this is all the Breita, or it's all a piece of the Breita, it's all a quote from the Breita. In that quote, Hi Ben Betera. Which Ben Betera are we talking about? So you knew that there was more than one Rabbi Yehoshua, and now you're going to find out that there's also more than one Ben Betera. Ben Betera is like his last name. Ilema Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera. If you were to say that this is Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera, Ha'amar b'sheni b'chag hu maskir. But he said that on the second day of Chag is when you mention Gvurot Geshamim. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak has a solution. Teheb Rabbi Yehoshua ben Betera. Let this be about Rabbi Yehoshua ben Betera, right? Meaning the ben Betera that's mentioned could be Rabbi Yehoshua ben Betera. Zimnin dekari le bishmei. Sometimes they called him by his first name, or his title and his first name, Rabbi Yehoshua. V'zimnin dekari le bishmei da Abba. And sometimes they called him by his father's name. That would be Ben Betera. V'hamakame delismechuhu. V'halavatar delismechuhu. And one is before they gave him smicha, and the other is after they gave him smicha. In other words, when he's young, when he doesn't necessarily have the name Rabbi before his name yet, they call him Ben Betera. It's like more of a diminutive, focuses on his parents. And after he gets smicha, he's referred to as Rabbi Yehoshua, and they don't always put in the Ben Betera part. So what I'm asking you to do is just to create a structure chart. This time, I want to encourage you to be even bigger picture, pull back from the details, but here, I would also encourage you to weave into your structure chart both elements of the Mishnah and the Breita. In other words, this whole section is all about comparing and matching between different pieces of the Mishnah and the Breita. And it's confusing. You have to remember which position was expressed where and by whom. So I'd like to really ask you, if you were teaching this, if you needed to explain this, how would you best express that? What's the best graphic you can come up with? And you're welcome to do this on paper. If there's an online tool that you think would be great for that, whether it's Prezi or whether it's manipulating sources in Sefaria, or Google Docs or anything else that you think would be really great for showing how these sources kind of all fit together in the picture that the Gemara is creating, you're welcome to do that. We'll stop here.